were talking earlier to the city of Tshwane about pylons collapsing. What about Tshwane itself? It faces possibly being placed under administration. A DA-led coalition is back in power in the city, but it has failed again to pass the adjustment budget. This week was the second time the adjustment budget tabled by Mayor Jacques Cilliers could not be passed. With 2 extensions granted, the national and provincial government gave Tshwane until yesterday to pass that budget. We're joined by Gauteng Cogta Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs MEC Khumalo. MEC, thank you for being with us. What does it mean, firstly, if the city of Tshwane simply cannot pass this adjustment budget? What are the implications? MEC, please unmute yourself.
Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers at home.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are concerned about the situation in Tshwane. Particularly that they were given an extension for more than 2 times. But we are dealing now, we've been dealing with Section 27 of MFMA read together with Section 63. And Section 63 indicates that the executive mayor, upon realizing that they have failed to perform a particular obligation in this regard to passing of the budget, should submit to the MEC of Finance a detailed response in terms of explaining themselves as to why they could not do that. And I'm aware that the executive mayor of Tshwane has done so, and the MEC for Finance, working together with ourselves, will then exercise Section 64, which by now Section 63 has been the one that has been exercised, giving Tshwane an opportunity to, through extensions, that they should do that. Now that we are aware where we are, it is really upon the MEC for Finance to make a determination as to what is the next step.
Yeah. So you can't tell us if you'll give the city another chance or if it will be placed under administration?
Yeah, I just wanted to explain that the issue of administration is really an action of the last resort in our processes. I just wanted to explain what process do we follow in situation like this. The process that we need to follow is one. The MEC can go to 1394, which largely deals with a municipality that has failed to pass its original budget, which in this instance it's not necessarily the case. However, if you read Regulation 63, it make reference to adjustment budget together with the budget itself. Therefore, meaning that the MEC can consider 134, which indicate that a municipality can be dissolved and new elections could be held as such for failure to can fulfill any of its obligation as it relates to the budget and matters that are within the budget itself. But also we can look at 139, which 139 is going to deal with the directives that we can give to a municipality. And I want to say that we have already entered that field, because by merely indicating to the municipality that they needed to have finalized their budget, or which they failed to finalize, it's part of the directives that the province is giving to them. But also we can, as a province, also assume the responsibility that the municipality is failing to perform as such, and perform them in accordance to national standard as such. And as a
MEC,
matter of
We've seen this before. I'm sorry to interject. We're running out of time. But I have to address that the claim is always the same, that this could be an illegitimate way for the ANC to get power back in Tshwane. Given the divisive politics, the fact that the EFF and the ANC are trying to get rid of the DA-led coalition, again, they were happy with this vote. If the city is placed under administration, would that be some sort of a power grab?
Yeah. Firstly, I do not understand why you make you're referring this as the ANC wanting to grab power. There isn't like anything like that.
I'm referring to the ANC only in Tshwane. Obviously, the ANC has been vying for power there.
No, like, as much as the DA has been vying for power.
Yes, exactly.
You must. That's why I'm saying I'm failing to understand why such reference is made in situations like that. But when it is the DA coalition that is vying for the same power, that reference is not necessarily made. My point is, none of the parties in Tshwane won elections or got the 50 plus. They are all relying on coalitions that they form. And in this regard, I think the blame should go to the DA coalition because they were able to use their majority to elect the executive mayor. The biggest question is, why can't they use the same majority to pass the budget? Why do you want to blame other parties when it's time for you to exercise your obligations?
Maybe we're not understanding each other. The politics, we know what's going on in Tshwane. I'm saying if the city is placed under administration, the claim will be, because it always is that this is an illegitimate attempt by the ANC to get power. What is your response to that? Would it be any form of a power grab or a legitimate move on your behalf?
No, that will certainly be not correct. If we are to intervene as a provincial government, we will intervene as per the prescripts, and I've made reference to that prescript. The prescript says to us, or the law says to us, if a municipality has failed to perform its obligation in this regard, the Tshwane municipality is obliged to pass the adjustment budget. If it doesn't do so, they will not be able to spend on the areas that they have adjusted on. So in that sense, they would have failed to perform their obligation as such. And it is upon us as provincial government can then intervene to ensure that those obligations are performed to the people of Tshwane. So if we intervene and bring in administration in Tshwane, it is because we want to ensure that those obligations that Tshwane municipality has failed to perform are indeed being performed, not any other thing. So you are not bringing in a group of politicians in Tshwane when you intervene. You're bringing in an administrator whose sole task will be to ensure that in those areas that a municipality has failed to perform, we perform them on behalf of that particular municipality through an administrator that would be there.
All right. Thank you for that response, MEC. That was Gauteng Cogta MEC Khumalo.